Now we're going to talk about some design options and page layout. Now, as we discussed in a previous lesson, themes, colors, fonts, and other things that do not directly relate to the layout of the page were moved to this new design tab in Office 2013, which I have pulled up now. You'll notice though that some of the options are disabled. This is a sample document that I've pulled off the internet, and it is an old Word 2003 document. Documents in compatibility mode do not support new features such as themes, colors, and fonts. So I've taken this file and converted it to the new format, which you see now, and you will see that when I go back to the design tab, those options are available. You more than likely will be asked on the certification exam to change the theme, which you see here under design. We can change the theme. You'll be given the name of the theme to use. We'll use organic. You might also be asked to change the colors. We'll go to blue, or the fonts, and we'll use this font. Now, if you want to set a default, you want to pick a theme and a color set and always use that, if you go right here and go select set as default, all new documents will be based on this, whatever you select, and select set as default. As you see in the tooltip here, save your current settings every time you create a blank document and be formatted just the way you like. So that is a new option in 2013 as well, the set as default button. Alright, watermarks. You might be asked to create a watermark. We'll create one here. We'll just create a text one. If you're asked to create a picture one, you'll be given the picture in resources. So we'll say sample document, and we'll say OK. And notice there's our watermark. Page color allows you to change the background of the page. This does not print. It'll still print in white. But for viewing pleasure, you can change the background of the page. Page borders allows you to put a border around the page. You may or may not be asked to do this. But there's just a box around the page, a simple box around the page. So, let's look at page layout. Margins, you will be asked to change more than likely. On mine it was narrow, but any of these options could be used. We'll change it back to the Word normal. From 2003 to 2007, the default changed from 1 1/4 on the left and right to 1 inch all the way around, so we'll make that change. We'll change the size to letter. Now, portrait and landscape, I'm sure most of you know what that is. Portrait is longer than it is wide, and landscape is wider than it is long. So you might be asked to change the layout. Now, we'll cover in a later section how you can change the orientation of 1 or 2 pages of your document, but not the entire document. Right now I don't have any sections, so if I change the page layout, it'll change the entire document. However, in a later lesson we'll learn how to use sections so we can change the orientation of multiple pages independent of the full document. Okay, we can also do columns if we want to put text in columns. So I'll go down here to page 3. We'll go here, we'll put a page break in, which will bring me down to page 3 of my document. This is some text to put into a column. We'll say Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Outlook. I'm just listing various Office applications. SharePoint, link. Okay, now if I want to put this in columns, I can come over to page layout and put it in 2 columns. Notice I now have the data in 2 columns. It tries to even it the best it could. I gave it an odd number of items, so it gave me 4 in one column and 3 in the other. If I come down and type a 8th item, we'll say, we'll just use item number 8 to make it simple. Now notice I have 2 equal columns. So that's columns. You might be asked to do hyphenation, which is simply off by default. You can also do automatic, which will try to hyphenate words that are too long for the line. Instead of bringing the whole word down to the next line, it will attempt to hyphenate it. The feature is disabled by default because honestly it doesn't work that well, but you might be asked to turn it on. So if you are, here we are under page layout, page setup. This is paragraph spacing. Default changes in every version of Office. In 2010 it was 10 points after the paragraph with 1.15 line spacing. Here you notice we have 3 points before and 3 points after. So let's look at some of these features here in this document. We have headings, which these are styles. We'll talk about styles in a later lesson. We also have different types of lists. We have what in web design you'd call an ordered list, or here it's called a numbered list, or a bulleted list, an unordered list. We will cover that in a later lesson. We'll also cover how to change this bullet to a picture or another symbol. We will talk about footnotes. That is covered on the exam. We'll talk about footnotes in a later lesson. We'll talk about inserting images in tables. We've done bookmarks. We'll also talk about text boxes. But in this lesson, we learned the new Design tab in Office 2013 and page layout options that are available.